Okay, here with Coach Dabney with the women's softball team, and we would love to kind of speak with you and kind of get some updates on how the team is doing so far this fall.
We're having a very good fall. You know, played Lipscomb. I couldn't be happier with how that entire night went. Uh, I guess sometimes, as a coach, we kind of get locked in on certain things and don't pay attention to others. And it took a parent to help me realize we started 6 freshmen in our first game, and you know, the puppies went out and played them tough. And we had all 7 in the game at some point in time. And number 2 played tough again. You know, going through some injuries and things, and we're still competitive. We're mixing and matching, moving kids around. I'm loving where we are right now. Uh, Great attitudes. They're working hard, and the fact that we know when we go on the field we can compete, and having that confidence at such a young early stage and with such a young team is. I'm looking forward to what happens as we get further along in the fall and as we get into the spring.
And you had mentioned, the freshmen quite a bit, and then, last year you still had that large group of sophomore, or excuse me, freshmen that came in last year that are sophomores now. Kind of speak a little bit about their progression and how everyone's kind of grasping, the concept that you want to build here at Tennessee State.
Well, it's always important to get talent, and last year's freshman class, they're the core of where we started when we came to Tennessee State. And they came in and they did what they had to do. They got the experience points, but now they're a year older. They're progressing, having another class right behind them about the same size, with talent, has actually pushed that sophomore class, the junior class, and the seniors to be better. That is the biggest, I guess, aspect of what they brought to this program as freshmen. They forced the issue to be competitive and work harder and be better every day. All together, the classes are pretty much the same personality-wise. They're great kids, they're crazy kids. But having numbers and having talent has forced everyone to raise their level of play, and yet they still get along very well. The competitive part hasn't, I guess, messed up the chemistry of it all. So, concepts and some playing skill, that all comes, but the main thing that the class, this year's freshman class and last year's sophomore class, this year's sophomore, is they understand that they have to bring their best to the field every day. And if not, there's so many people that can take their spot or replace them, and we still won't have a drop-off, is, I think, the biggest thing that's been brought to us this year.
Now, TSUTigers.com has been doing a feature, the 100 moments in history, and, just a couple days ago, one of the 100 moments is beating an SEC team for the very first time, and that happened last year, beating South Carolina. Again, with, that first core group. What kind of excitement does that bring to you as well as the team, in the sense of knowing that that's what you did last year, and now you've got the sophomores, you got the freshmen, and you still have some returning juniors and seniors who have not seen as much success in the past? What kind of excitement does that bring to you and to them of, being able to carry on that?
Well, for me, it's not an exciting thing. Seeing it as one of the 100 moments was, I can't lie. When I saw it, I found out right before practice. And I was like a little kid about it. Overall, we're actually trying to get away from those being exciting games. Last year they were young, they were experiencing playing a lot of big name, type teams. I don't want to play the name game anymore. Last year, that's how we got them excited. We obviously use those name teams as a way to draw talented kids. We want to worry about just us. We don't want to go on the field just excited to play in stadiums and playing, a Mississippi State or a Florida or, Tennessee. We don't want to care about that anymore. We want to worry about us and not just be excited to compete against them, but to win those ball games all the time. So right now, beating an SEC team was great, but overall we want the mentality around here to be, that's why we're on the field, to compete and win ball games no matter who's in the other dugout. So, for the program, it's a great win, and obviously it helps when it comes to scheduling, because now we're respected a little bit more when we walk into those games. But realistically, if we go, I think we have 6 SEC teams on the schedule, something like that. We go 6-0 against them and go 0-27 in conference. It doesn't matter. The games that matter are the conference games, and that's where our focus is. We're going to play a lot of great teams year in and year out. I don't like a lot of fluff in our schedule. We're going to give them the experience, going out to these bigger name schools, but we're going to play and we're going to compete and we're going to win. And that's the end of the deal. Whether it's Mississippi State or someone in conference, we have the same mentality from here on out. That's our thought process. Who cares? We're not going to celebrate more for beating Mississippi State and then, play somebody in conference and then there's this ho-hum. Now it's just even keel. You beat, the national champs. I'm still going to walk off the field and go, all right, how we do against someone in conference? And if we're celebrating one and the other one is not as important, then we're still not doing what we want as a program.
Now, you spoke a little bit earlier about having a great feeling about your games against Lipscomb a couple weekends ago, or about a week and a half ago. Great atmosphere, great night. Speak a little bit more about the Lipscomb doubleheader.
We played well. We didn't swing the bat as well as I would like, which has been my main focus is, really we've been harping on the offensive side a lot this fall because, everything else, every other phase in the game, we've been pretty good. Defensively, we've been solid. I mean, an error here, error there, out of position here. That part doesn't concern me a whole lot because we're not making a lot of mistakes that are going to kill us. I think our defense is easily, the thing that stepped up around here without a lot of focus on. Our pitching, right now we've really been going with a freshman. Shelby's been pitching for us a lot, and Olivia, they're both carrying the load for us this fall. I mean, everybody knows what Shay does, so Shay's not really a focus point for us this year, this fall. But having Shelby come in the way she has, and she's thrown a lot, and Olivia coming in and doing what she's doing, now our pitching staff is exactly where we want it to be. We have 3 pitchers that are going to keep people from scoring. Our defense isn't going to give away a whole lot of runs now. We're obviously fast. So our key right now to being good and in the Lipscomb game is where I saw a lot of good things, but not great, is at the plate. And Lipscomb, being a solid program, and the fact that we played so close, even though we're not working on manufacturing runs or giving signs or stealing a whole lot, we're just flat out just swinging the bat. And the fact that the young ones did that, and still the games were close, makes me go, okay, what happens when we start employing our short game more? What happens when we start manufacturing runs? When we start to hit and run and do little things to actually score runs without just swinging the bat? Okay, we lose a ball game just swinging the bat 1-0. We may win that ball game with our speed and doing things by 6. But as long as we're getting the mentality right, and like I said, Lipscomb started to help me see that we have the ability to do things offensively. We just haven't gotten it completely, locked in the way I want to. We're fine. Well, I think of all the nights, the Lipscomb, that doubleheader told me a lot about, what our team is made up of.
You had mentioned a little bit earlier about a couple of the injuries that you've been dealing with, and you go up to Western Kentucky and play shorthanded against, a nice Sun Belt team in Western Kentucky, a very strong Division II team in Columbus State, and just seeing the results of when the scoring happened, how the scoring happened, it seemed to us on our side exciting, of great ball games to watch. What were your feelings in all of the Western Kentucky weekend?
We played Western Kentucky first. We lost the ball game 2-1 at the end. It's a loss, don't care, we're still 0-0. But overall, it was like, I love the fact that, you got a pitcher's duel. You got a freshman out there who knows up front that she is going all day. We've got an injury in the pitching staff that, we don't have anybody else for the day. I mean, we did, but we really didn't want to go to pitcher number 4. Not at the time. But, she's out there, she's throwing a great game. Defense is making plays. offensively, we're having quality at bats, and at no point in time did we sit back and go, oh, I didn't hit the ball hard. I don't know if I can do this. It wasn't, that whole self-doubt. The whole time, they were confident. We got tip your hat to Western Kentucky for making, getting what they needed to at the end, come back and win at the bottom of the seventh. Then you go play Columbus State. They swing the bats. They're a solid team. Once again, Shelby's getting a little tired, but she's still pitching her heart out. Showed a whole lot of fight, which is something I've waited to see if she had it. Between the years, when she didn't have her best stuff, she was still able to pitch. But our defense is going out there making great plays. Aisha's robbing, a kid of a home run to make sure that the game stays tight. We're swinging the bats. We're fighting. We got another freshman, Casey's coming through with hits. People are just doing and grinding out at bats to help the team win. And once again, we went down, and yet we didn't back down. We just came right back. And this team right now shows a fight that I haven't seen here since I've been here. They're going to keep battling you. They're not going to really get in the dumps. If one person goes down, there's other people still there to fight. We no longer have to worry about, okay, is one person going to bail us out of this? We can go 9, 10 deep right now. And then maybe even further once we get past these injuries, because we only had 11 able bodies, on a team of 18. So with that, you can't help but smile. I got on the bus, and when we're having a bad game, it's easy. I stay awake on the bus, and I stay awake at night. I've been sleeping comfortably this fall.
Well, speaking of sleeping comfortably, you're coming into this week, and you get to end the fall season with a doubleheader with the defending national champions, going down to Alabama. Speak a little bit about that, but also, the benefit of playing Alabama at this point of the fall and to close your season out that way.
Well, we appreciate the fact that, Coach Murphy lets us come down. This is the second time we've done it. Been going on, this is my 16th year. And I learned early on in my career when I was younger, we used to do this at Oklahoma. Alabama's my new Oklahoma here. The University of Oklahoma, they won national championship in 2000. We went down, and I took my junior college kids down there every year. One, because it helps in recruiting. Kids love to play, and in this area, it's Tennessee and Alabama. Well, these kids like to play at Alabama. I use it in recruiting. But the thing is they will love it for that fact. I love it because they're going up against the best. Alabama is the best team in the country right now. They are holding the trophy. It is a measuring stick for us. It is an ability to play at another level, to see what it's like to face pitching that is at the top level. I mean, they're number ones on Team USA. When you're playing quality competition, quality pitching, great hitters, team that's going to force you to play your best, it raises your level of play. There was no fluff on our entire fall schedule. We didn't go out and play, nowhere community college and beat them 18-0. We played everybody. Everybody we played is NCAA tournament quality, Division I, and now we're playing the best. We're going to go into our off season having seen the best of the best, and our kids are going to have an idea of what they need to work on. And if it's like last year, they're going to go and understand how good they are. We played Alabama tough last year. They got us at the end. They were more talented than us. But I walked off the field, and our kids did too. They realized they could play at this level. And if it happens again, I anticipate 2 very good games. You go into the offseason, Alabama was the springboard for us beating South Carolina last year. There's no doubt about that. Those were the 2 games. We went tough against Alabama, then we go play South Carolina first game of the season. The confidence was high, and it started, I believe, with the game with Alabama. So it's important to us to be able to play those type teams, and it's important for us, for our kids, to use it as a measuring stick and see how good are we. Okay, we may not have beaten them, but did we play well? Did we play with heart? Did we go hard? Did we take their best shot and not back down? And if we come out of it and can say yes again, we'll be fine.
All right. Well, Coach, we wish you the best of luck this weekend, and as the fall concludes, and we look forward to speaking with you very soon.
Thank you very much.